Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We got another recruiting video for you today. We are going to go over the true underdogs, the one-star prospects. I think one thing that gets lost in this game, myself included, is we get infatuated with the 5-star, the 4-star gems, even the 3-star guys, and we forget how good someone has to actually be a 1-star prospect and make it into Division 1 level, whether it's FCS, FBS. So just like with our JUCO episode, we're going to look at the percentage of gems we get, percentage of busts, and then the percentage of the elite, star, and impact development guys. So I scouted 81 total prospects. We ended up with 6 gems in total. I ended up not being able to sign one of them. Somehow I lost out. Another school really wanted a 1-star gem, and they got him. So we signed 5 between our 2 schools here. And our 2 schools are going to be Oregon and Texas. So as I said, 81 total prospects. We had 6 gems, which is a total of 7.4%. And then we had 3 busts, which is going to be good for 3.7%. So not a lot of gems or busts. You can expect to find just a lot of regular players at the 1-star level. But again, I think if you're doing a dynasty where you're rebuilding, you're building, I like to think of the 1-star guys as kind of the glue guys, right? The Rudies, the guys who come in, they embody what your program is about. And in real life, you want to keep those guys around, right? You want to keep the guy around who everybody cheers for, roots for, the guy who shows up to practice and is going to give your left tackle a really good showing and is going to push that left tackle to get better and doing everything they can to help improve the entire team. So 1-star guys, I salute you. Let's dive in and see the development of these guys. As I said before, we had 3 gems. Bullringer here is one of them. You can see the numbers. Again, not as impressive, obviously, as a 3-star guy, even a JUCO guy, but good enough to come in, fill a spot on your team, and develop into somebody that can contribute when they're, redshirt junior, redshirt senior. Eric Rich, another gem, impact development guy. And then one thing about 1-stars that I think is different from 3 and 2, I think even, is that if they are not a gem, I think they are normal development. And if they have a chance of being impact, I think it's really low. Because none of these guys that are not gems are impact development. And I think with 2-stars and 3-stars, you'll see guys not gems, but their development trait is impact. And even some 3-stars will have a star development. So a lot of normal development guys. But again, glue guys, these are guys you want on your team. Maybe not 35 of them, right? But 1 or 2, handful, a few on each side of the ball. And I like to imagine the guys who are gems are really the high character guys, right? The guys that are really going to do all the things that improve the team, that improve themselves. They're going to treat people the right way. They're going to lead the team through adversity. They're going to be somebody that others look to when the shit hits the fan and things like that. So we got 3 gems here on our team and 3 impact development trait. The rest, non-gems, normal development. So of the 70 guys that we signed, again, Texas is another team. I think we signed 35 with them as well. We had 5. We missed out on one guy. So 5 impact guys, 7.1% of our guys of 1-stars are going to be impact development. And to me, it looks like they have to be a gem. All right, let's take a quick look at Texas's roster, see who we found over there. Again, 35 signed here. Texas had 2 gems, Boss, Crothers. Let's check out their development trait, see if we have any surprises here. Boss, Crothers are impact, normal, all the way down. So I can confidently say, if it's not a gem, he's going to be a normal development. If you get a gem at the 1-star level, we're only talking about impact development. So as you add these guys in your dynasty, don't expect to get a gem. Don't expect to get a guy with an impact development, but expect to get a guy, again, who buys into what you're doing, does the right things, is coachable, treats people the right way, handles adversity well. These are the guys. These are the underdogs. You want them on your team. All right, now that we have an idea of the percentages of what we're getting, let's look at the actual numbers, what they come in at, and then we'll advance to the next year, see how they train all the way through to the end of their career. But quick before we do that, we'll see what a all 1-star signing class looks like. And here we are, bottom of the rankings. All right, first season of recruiting is wrapped up. On to season 2 here. We're just going to force advance to National Signing Day. We'll check on our team then. I'm assuming all of our one-star guys will be redshirted, so we'll check in on them at the end of the season. So these guys look like they had pretty significant jumps to get into the upper 60s. Merling looks like he maybe went up 6. I'm guessing to 61. Grimm maybe the same. Fullback, he did not get redshirted. He played right away. He got up to 60. Yeah, Dell, Coates, Lewis. Looks like maybe Lewis didn't go up at all. Coates a few. Dell a few. Tight end wise, Herrera, again, maybe looks like he went up 1, 2, something like that. Lewis to 62. Holfrichter, he's a true sophomore, which means he was a true freshman last year. What's his player card? Yeah, he's a 1-star guy. Hofrichter, 76 overall. I don't think he was a gem. So that is great to see. He got to 74 overall. These are some of the new freshmen they brought in. Brooks, nope, he's not ours. So we didn't have a center. Chance was a 1-star guy. Let's check his card. Normal dev, 1-star. That's us. That's our guy. He goes up to 72. And Ramey was our guy. He goes up to 69. So some of these positions are getting some pretty significant jumps. Cowdy, 65 or 63. Divine did not get redshirted. He got to 62. Rivera, he got to 74. It's a normal dev. So it looks like a lot of these, if you're building a program, right, you got a 1-star program, we're seeing some pretty significant jumps for a lot of these positions. So you can get, Eric Rich, he was a gem, I think, along with Hilleman. He jumps to 72 overall. Impact D end. All right, let's check his ratings. I mean, his caps are, he's got a lot of caps, but he's at 72 already. Maybe he gets up to 80, mid 80s. Grubb got to 70, Bullringer up to 68. That's a solid player. If you're rebuilding a 1-star school, these are guys that can come in, get a redshirt year, be ready to contribute. DiNapoli goes up to 71. Manu Y does not get a red shirt. He's up to 70. And Prosh, he was an athlete. We moved over. He goes up to 54. Melvin to 65. Wentz to 62. Nobody there. Another Manu Y goes up to 75. Let's check his player card. There is Impact. Okay, so he was a gem. We had 3 gems on Oregon. Yeah. Again, that's a guy that can come in, get a red shirt, and then be ready to contribute. Hobbs at 64. Amaro at 58. Garrett at 61. Money at 60. Harris gets to 75. Lamb to 72. Again, they get to a level where they can come in and contribute at your 1-star, 2-star program. O'Brien, 61, did not get redshirted. And that's it. We can just go through Texas here. QB Duval, Vasquez, not significant jumps. Armah, Singletary did not get redshirted. Nothing significant here. Fullback Nicholson did not get redshirted. Not a significant jump, it looks like. Alfaro got redshirted. He's at 64, 63. Cadu, 61. Jefferson, 57. Tight end Gerhardt and Guillermo, neither got redshirted. Maybe Gerhardt made a significant jump, but Guillermo maybe stayed steady. Left tackle Bowling looks like he jumped up quite a bit to 72. It's a normal dev, but again, makes a significant jump and is ready to play at a 1-star school. Ebron didn't get redshirted. He's at 71. He's ready to play. Winter jumps to 71. Witherspoon to 62. Crullers is at 69. Mount at 70. Bettis at 61. Leuenberg to 65. Boss and Sty. Boss gets to 78. he was a gem. He's an impact development, right? So he makes a jump. Boom, this guy ready to play. I mean, look at his caps. He maybe gets to mid to high 80s, which is significant for a 1-star guy. Again, these are the glue guys. These are the guys that are going to come in. They're going to be hard workers. Their goals are big. Their purpose is bigger. Sty comes in at 68 this year. Self to 72. Nikki to 69. I did not expect 1-star guys to get into the mid 70s and be ready to contribute at a 1-star school. I thought they would, take their time and they would cap out at mid 70s. So this is good to see. No left outside linebacker. Padrino didn't get redshirted. He's at 61. Ring is at 58. Tinker to 66. Dossie did not get redshirted. He's at 64. I'm assuming that all these sophomores are guys we brought in. I guess they could be a JUCO guy they brought in. Camacho is at 57. Middlebrooks is 71. Poog at 64. Hayes at 64. Epinesa at 57. And then Bayard at 69. So again, we saw a lot of guys, I think enough guys that made significant jumps where adding a 1-star guy to your program once every 2 to 3 years can be a really good strategy. And 1-stars are easy enough to get that you can wait until late in the season, scout a bunch of 1-star guys, look for gems, look for the numbers you want, right, with their skills, and then recruit. You can be really selective with 1-star guys. But we saw Texas's left end, right? He jumped to 80. He's ready to play, contribute, and he has room to get a little bit better. All right, so we saw their training results. We're going to move on. All right, here we are. Season 3, second year of training results for our 1-star guys. So we're looking at redshirt sophomores or true juniors, I guess, assuming that they're not a junior college guy. But here's Hilleman. He goes up to 71. Larson's at 68. Marvin's at 72. Merling is at 65. Grimm at 64. So again, not any significant jumps, I think, with those running backs. Jamo is at 60. Again, not a significant jump. We got Lewis at 67. Dell at 57. Coates at 56. Herrera is at 56. Let's see if he's maxed out. Just want to get a feel for, yeah, okay, so Herrera's maxed out at 59. Let's check those running backs. One thing I forget about is the skill caps. So Marvin at 72. I maybe should have checked their skill caps last year. He's got room to improve. He's a receiving back, right? Yeah. So route running can go up and a little bit of power. So I think he'll get better by the time he graduates. Merling, let's check. Yeah, kind of capped out here. Maybe gets to 70 overall. And Grimm still has room for improvement. He might, maybe he gets to mid 70s. Jamal, let's check. 62 capped out. So maybe a 1-star fullback isn't the way to go. I think tight ends cap out pretty quick as a 1-star. Here, let's check out Lewis. Deep threat, capped out. But at 67 overall, again, you're a 1-star, 2-star school. He could be your 3rd or 4th wide receiver with 89 speed. Dell, I'm assuming he's maxed out too. 57. Dell and Coates, I don't know if I would have recruited just because of speed-wise, not fitting kind of what we do. And I think that in order to keep it realistic as you recruit, that you want to recruit guys who are going to fit in, right? I'm not all about just recruiting all these 1-stars and having them on the team. I think they got to fit what you're doing, right? But I think it's really cool to have an underdog on your team. Again, one of those glue guys everybody roots for. He's going to do the right things. Herrera, we saw, was maxed out at 59. So again, maybe not a guy we pursue with 78 speed. Blocking's not really there. I don't know if I would pursue him in my dynasty. Garrett Luis, let's check him out. He's at 71. Still got room to improve here. So maybe he gets up to, high 70s. Hoffrichter was a guy who took a big jump last year to 76. Did he cap out right away? No, he's got room to improve still, but I don't think he made a jump this year. So as a junior, maybe a redshirt candidate. Looks like he might start this year though. So I'm looking for true juniors. A redshirt sophomore, no center. Ramey made a big jump last year, at 77. Let's see what did he max out? No, tons of room for improvement here still for Ramey. I don't know, tons might be a relative term, but enough room for improvement for Ramey. Cote's at 75. Still, Maybe he gets up into low 80s. Again, solid player. Divine comes in at 69. Maybe gets up to high 70s. Rivera gets to 77. 2 ticks left for quickness, so probably going to stay at 77. Rich is up to 80. He was a gem. Impacts, yep. So he's still got room for improvement here. So again, 80 overall. He might have been that last year, close to it. But he's ready to play. Grub gets to 80. Not a gem, just a normal dev guy. He's maxed out. But a 1-star maxed out at 80, I would take that in my dynasty for sure. My dynasty rebuild. And I want to emphasize that there's so many ways to do a dynasty. And I think we've got to experiment with all types, right? As you play this game, to really understand it, you have to go through all those things where one dynasty is just for developing your coach, what coaching skills work, right? Then you got to do one where you recruit, just 5 stars. How hard is it to get 5 stars? What's your strategy? Maybe you have a dynasty where you play it on an easier level, so you have more time to make reads and make adjustments, things like that. So I don't think we should just play one way for a dynasty. But I do really enjoy kind of the rebuild, and I think a lot of people do the rebuild, recruiting in a realistic way, which is why I'm doing this deep dive into 1-stars. Right? What do they really offer? Do they fit what you're doing? And so play as many dynasties as you want. Use this information how you need. Let's move on. Grub there is done. Bullringer comes to 77. He's an impact guy. 1-star. But again, tons of room for improvement here. We might start him this year, see if he can't gain some XP. DeNapoli comes in at 77. Again, normal dev. Still reaching the high 70s. 3 ticks left to improve. Maybe he gets to 80. I mean, he's at 80 with bonuses, but Manu-wise at 71. Still room for improvement. Could probably get to mid-70s, high 70s. Prosh at 54. He was an athlete. I think he's maxed out. Let's see. Undefined. This is wild. And this is the guy I tried to change positions while I was the head coach at Texas. So I wonder if that's why it's undefined. No mentals, no physicals, no ratings. Let's see. Can we edit ratings here? Okay. Interesting. So we've got no data on Prosh, but he's just at 57. I might have broke him trying to do that. Middle linebacker, Melvin, gets to 72, maxed out at 72. But 72 is a solid player. Wentz, 62, he might be maxed out. You think he would jump a little bit more. Yep. Manu Y, the corner, is at 82 overall. He might have been that last year. He's an impact guy. He might have went up. Still plenty of room for improvement here. Get to mid 80s, mid to high 80s. Amaro might be maxed out. Still a little bit of room. Get to low 70s. Hobbs, still room to improve. Free safety. Eli Money, what do you got? So still room to improve. What's he at? I didn't see his actual overall. But low 70s. Can probably get to mid to high 70s here. Money, yeah, he's at 75. True Junior, Darasa. I'm going to see if we recruited this guy. Nope, he's a JUCO. I can't check him. Garrett, we can check. Still tons of room for, again, tons relative term for 1-star, but a lot of ticks left to improve. Strong safety, we got Harris at 76. Still room to improve. He's going to be starting this year, so he'll gain more XP. Maybe get to low to mid 80s. Lamb is at 74. Oh, yeah, still room to improve. And then O'Brien, he might be maxed out. No, still room to improve. So again, they got a lot of skill caps. They're not going to be guys who are a generational talent that turn around your program quickly. But you can get a lot of guys that can come in, get a red shirt, play the next year, and contribute to what you're building as you rebuild a program. And if you're going for a juggernaut program, they can still be somebody who adds depth, right? We saw a couple of guys jump to mid 70s after their redshirt year. You can use that in your blue blood program. All right, Texas, again, redshirt sophomores, true juniors. Here's Vasquez. He comes in at 68. 2 ticks left. Gets to low 70s. Duval comes in at 64. Can maybe get to 70. High 60s probably, not 70, I don't think. True junior Arma. Couple of ticks left to improve. Maybe gets to 70 overall. Redshirt sophomore Laguda, 68. quite a few ticks. Maybe gets to mid 70s. And then Singletary. Couple left here. He could maybe get to 70, low 70s. Nicholson, he probably capped out. I'm assuming tight ends, fullbacks cap out pretty quick at 1 star. Yep. Looks like all Texas's wide receivers are high capped guys. Yep. Alfaro's done. I mean, look at the speed on. He's a route runner. These route runners, 1 star guys are slow. Deep threat Jefferson, he can bring some speed, but capped out still. And then Cadu is a physical guy, 81, 61 overall, 81 speed, 61 overall, and he's capped. So Texas got the short end of the stick on those 3. 4. Tight end, Gerhardt, capped out. Guillermo, vertical threat, capped out. Bowling got up to 80, maxed out, but again, at 80 overall, that's a guy that can contribute. I've been saying it the whole episode. Ebron got to 72, maybe gets to mid 70s. Again, good enough to contribute, build depth, depending on what you're after. Winter gets to 76, almost capped out. Witherspoon gets to 71, still room to improve. So maybe gets to upper 70s. Crothers is 75. Still a lot of room. I feel like that's mid 80s potential. Mount at 73, maybe gets to mid 70s, upper 70s. Bettis at 68. Seems like that might be capped out. No, it could get to mid 70s. IQ low 70s. Lewinberg, let's see what he was at, 72. Still room to improve. Gets to mid to upper 70s. From 72, probably mid 70s. Boss, he was a gem, impact guy, 82 overall, can still develop. I mean, this guy could hit the mark of getting to that pro level. You know, what is it, 87, 88? Sty at 73, still room. I mean, and some key ones too. I mean, they're all key because they play into his tendency, but what is that, 8? Still 8 ticks to improve. Nicky gets to 74, still room. So most of these guys still have room, especially on the defensive line. I feel like they have the most room to improve. Yeah, Self is the same. Giordano, 68. Yeah, still room. I mean, what is that, mid 70s? Power moves goes up 3 ticks. I don't know what that equates to, actual rating wise, but still plenty of room to improve, I think. No left outside linebacker. Padrino. Seems like maybe he was a JUCO guy. Nope, he was ours. Capped out at 70. Solid enough. Or 68. Ring at 60. Seems like he's capped out. Yep. Right outside linebacker, Tinker. Still room. Again, maybe gets to 80. Low 80s. Camacho, I'm assuming these guys are capped out. For the sake of time, I'm not going to dive into them. True junior or redshirt sophomore. Hayes at 77. Again, still room to jump into low 80s. Middlebrooks at 75. Still room. Maybe he can get to 80. And then Poog at 69. Yeah, tons. Look at this. Zone coverage can go run stopping power. Is he a man coverage guy or what? Slot. Yeah, so zone could go. You think that would be where he focuses if it's just 1 point. Free safety, Epinesa at 73. You know, still room, can jump to high 70s, 80. I'm just guessing. The ticks, I have no idea how they measure them. Bayard, 72. Maybe gets to 80. Pass coverage goes up, low 80s. So after year 3, that's where we stand. Let's jump to year 4. All right, here we are, year 4, training results. We are looking at redshirt junior guys. So Hilliman at 72. Again, I'll have their previous overalls on the bottom right here or on the screen as we look at their ratings and their caps. So Hilliman is maxed out at 75. Again, a good enough quarterback. He got to low 70s. I think he got to 75 last year. Good enough to come into your 1-star program, redshirt, and be ready to play if that's what you need. 85 speed, 87 excel, throw powers at 88. Again, good enough to start your rebuilding of a program. If not to start, to add depth for sure. Larson, more of the same. He's at 70, not as good, but definitely could be a depth guy. Marvin at running back, again, 72 overall, could be a depth guy. Merlin's maxed out at 68 and Grimm at 67. So maybe those are guys you bring in Maybe they get to 67 quick. You notice they have the caps. They're there for a year, and you decide to part ways. They're a better fit at a FCS school or just a different program that could utilize them. But again, depending on where you're at, I think it'd be cool to have a realistic dynasty going. You bring in a guy like Hakeem Grimm, not the best guy overall, offers some speed. As a redshirt junior, he's maxed out, but he's ready to contribute in key areas. If called upon, he can push guys in practice. That would be a guy worth keeping on your team, assuming you create that character for him, right? But I think that'd be a cool thing to do. All right, at fullback, we got Jimmo. He's maxed out. At receiver, we've got Lewis, Dell, and Coates, all three of, I think, who are maxed out. So Herrera, 56 overall, he's maxed out. Left tackle, we got Garrett Lewis, who was surpassed by Elling, but he did start this year. He's got 3 ticks for quickness. So he's just about maxed out, probably not going to reach 80. Left guard, we got Hofrichter. He's maxed out now at 82. I think he might have been maxed out last year as well. Ramey's still at 82. We got 3 ticks left, so maybe mid-80s there. Again, but just a 1-star normal dev. So again, I know I've said it a lot, but you can find guys who can for sure, a 1-star, 2-star school can come in and play after a redshirt year. And even again at a blue blood school, they can come in and add depth. Cowdy and Divine, 78, 74. Let's look at Cowdy. Maxed out. Divine at 74. A little bit of room for quickness here. So he may jump up and match Cowdy or get close to it. Rivera here at 78. A little bit of room for quickness down there. Getting a solid depth guy. Rich is at 80. Bullringer got to 80. And Grubb got to 80. So all of our DNs got to 80 overall. Page, I don't think, is ours. D tackles, DiNapoli, he's at 80. Manu Y, 72. Proch, we know, is capped out. Melvin at 72 and Wentz at 62. Again, 2 guys I think are capped out. Outside linebacker, nothing. Manu Y here is 82 overall. Again, just staying solid. Capped out. Hobbs at 69. Amaro at 68. Hobbs might have went up here. Yeah, still some room for improvement here. Free safety Money is staying at 75. I think that's what he was last year. Still quite a bit of room for improvement here. And I'm guessing if Money is starting on your team, he probably reaches his full potential around 80. Garrett at 74 will be more of the same. And normal dev guys getting to mid-70s and beyond. I didn't think that would be possible. So this is cool to see that there are guys out there, 1-star guys that can progress, again, into viable starters for any team. And Harris at 79. This is a mid-80s strong safety. 1-star guy. Lamb probably going to be the same or similar. Yeah, still plenty of room here. And then O'Brien at 70. Still enough room to get to mid to upper 70s. So again, I think the biggest thing I'm seeing here is that there's plenty of 1-star guys that can come in, get a red shirt, and be ready to play. Not just for a 1-star, but many of them could play, again, at a blue blood school and add depth. All right, so simulated to the end of season recap, looks like my Oregon coach took the job at USC. We'll see. Hopefully we can still get all the information from the Oregon guys here. Our Texas coach did stay, but we'll advance on. All right, so let's go to players leaving. Let's go to Texas first. A couple of transfers here because they're not a championship contender anymore. Whoops. Let's see who we've got. So Bragg. Oh, he's transferring. I thought he was going to go in the draft. Bragg transfers because of proximity to home. How does that change? Or did it not? Let's see. Bauer's not ours. Not ours. Okay. Do we have any? I did end up cutting some of our guys. The guys that were capped out, I ended up cutting most of them off Oregon because Texas didn't need them. Armah was at 71. We knew that. Nicholson, Padrino, Ebron, Bayard, Gerhardt. That's going to be it for our guys. Let's check Oregon. Okay, so just a couple of draftable guys. Let's see. Tonga and Chubb. Chubb wasn't ours. He was a transfer in. That's going to be it. Maybe Page. No, I don't think Page was ours either. So just Tonga. Capped out at 58. I think he capped out after the first year. All right, let's move on. All right, the last and final training day. Here we got Martin Vasquez coming in at 76. Again, their previous overalls are in the bottom right-hand corner here. We are going to check his caps maxed out. So Martin Vasquez maybe wasn't good enough to come in and start right away in a 1-star, 2-star program, but for sure by the time he's a redshirt senior, junior, he's ready to come in and contribute. Laguda, I did end up cutting, I think, a halfback from Texas to make room for some of their actual guys, but he was a guy that was already capped out. Laguda, still room for improvement. Again, could max out upper 70s. Receiver, we got all 3 of these guys, all 4 of these guys, all maxed out, capped out. Guillermo was capped out. Bowling maxed out at 80 pretty quickly. But again, somebody I think who played last year before Mendoza was ready to come in and play. McDonough's not ours, but Winter is. Again, a good depth guy, right? Valdez wasn't ready to play a pivotal role, be a backup last year. Winter was there behind McDonough and Witherspoon. Crothers got to 88. This guy might get drafted. He's maxed out at 88. Mount got to 76. Bettis got to 71. We're going to have to advance on and see if Crothers got drafted. Leuenberg, 73. Boss stayed at 82. Sty at 79. Again, 2 good depth guys here. Self will be starting this year, 81. Nicky behind him. Giordano's back there. Again, 79 overall. Not a bad starter. Not the greatest, but not bad. Ring was maxed out. Tinker, 79, good depth guy. Played a pivotal role until Gayton was ready to take over. Camacho, 73, depth. And Dossie. Hayes at 78 is going to be a backup. Provide depth. Poog will be 78 in the slot. Middlebrooks, a dime guy at 77. Now for a power 4 Big 12 school, maybe not the greatest, but for your 1-star, 2-star rebuild, these guys will be pretty good. Free safety, Epinesa at 73. Okay, Oregon, Hilleman, 72. Running back, there's Marvin and Merling. I cut the 3rd guy who was maxed out, but again, 2 solid guys here. Fullback, I cut because he was maxed out. Gerald Lewis at 67. No tight ends, they were cut. Lewis at 72. Hofrichter at 80, still starting, right? Washington's not quite ready at 79. Hofrichter plays a pivotal role in holding down the left guard spot until Washington's ready. Ramey at 84. Again, held down the fort until Kukwa was ready. Cowdy started last year until Maddox was ready. Devine backed him up. Rivera at 80. Again, for Oregon, maybe not the best option, right? They went 7-6 last year. Again, a 1-star school. Those guys are starting. They're going to provide a good base to build up from. Rich at 87, maybe draftable. We'll see. Does he still have room to improve? We might start him and see. Maybe. Okay, so maybe Rich starts and Gathers goes behind him or gets redshirted maybe. Bullringer at 85, solid, and Grubb at 80. D-tackle DiNapoli at 80. Manu Wyatt 76. Melvin 72. No right outside linebacker. Manu Wyatt corner 83. Amaro 71. Hobbs 69. Money it stays at 75. Garrett at 74. Lonnie Harris at 79. Again, good depth guy. Lamb at 76. O'Brien stays at 71. So again, what we're seeing with the 1-stars, guys that can provide depth out of blue blood. I've said it many times in this episode, but there's many guys out there, 1-stars that can. You see, we have 2 guys with Oregon that might be draftable. And so for sure, if you're doing a 1-star or 2-star rebuild, again, these guys are the guys you're going to want. We'll let transfers take care of themselves. We saw everybody at after their final training day. All right, we advanced through the season. Moment of truth here. We'll check our final guys here. Crothers, 7th round draft pick. How about that? 1-star, underdog. These are the guys you want to root for. He's overlooked out of high school, gets to college, puts in the preparation, puts in the work, and here he is, 88 overall, 7th round draft pick. Boss, I thought was going to make up there. He was a gem guy. I don't even think, Crothers was a gem. Boss kept out at 82. Self, 79. Laguda, 75. Jefferson, 73. Witherspoon, 75. Hayes, 78. Bowling at 80. Poog at 79. Cadu at 61, Guillermo at 54, Nicky 76, Dossie 64, Vasquez 76, Middlebrook 77, Tinker 81, Mount 76. So as we're going through these overalls, you can see 71, 73, 79, 77. I mean, these guys are good enough to rebuild a program. Last one is Ring at 60. So Texas, of the 35 we recruited, produced one draft pick, which I did not expect. And even these, low 80s guys, high 70s guys, did not expect that from the 1-star. Oregon, let's see. Rich does not get drafted. I thought he'd have a shot. Maybe 88 is the cut. But if you play with him, he's probably got room to improve a little bit more, and he would have made it. If I could have started him this year, if we were on Oregon as a coach, I would have done that. Bullringer 85, Manuwai 84. I mean, look at these overalls. These are guys you can build a program with. I'm thinking of, the first year you maybe take some lumps, start some 3-star guys. Maybe you can get your hands on a 4-star depending on your stipulations, your regulations, whatever. But then you redshirt these guys, and a lot of these guys came in after the redshirt, low 70s, mid 70s, I feel like, unless they were capped, like Lewis capped early. But here's 78, here's 80, 79, 71. He was 71 pretty quick. I feel like by the time he was a redshirt junior or sophomore, he was close to 71, 76. I mean, all guys that are good enough to build a program. All right, so 1-stars, I think at the very least, if you're doing a rebuild, get some 1-stars in. It's going to make it a little bit more exciting. Guys that can develop, they're the underdogs, right? Even if they're not playing all the time, just picture them being the underdog, being the glue guy, the guy who shows up to practice, pushes the starters to get better, all that fun stuff, does all the right things, supports all the starters any way he can. I mean, these are the kind of guys you want. And then if you get a guy like Crothers drafted, even in the 7th round, right, that's pretty exciting. So at the very least, add a couple guys. You have time to recruit them late in the season, right? Try to find a gem. Try to find a guy with the numbers and the skills that you're looking for, and then I think I'm going to add to my Nevada dynasty, kind of restrained recruiting where I may be hitting some of the key position needs with 3, 4, 5-star guys, and then building depth with 1-star guys at positions that are maybe already met. Maybe I've got a senior and a junior at right guard. I bring in a gem 1-star, let him kind of develop, be a part of the team, somebody I know who can add depth. But I can't wait to add 1-stars to that dynasty. So let me know in the comments below if this helped you. Do you believe in 1-stars? Are you rooting for these underdog guys? These are the true underdogs of college football 25. And as we've seen, 1 out of 70 goes pro, and it's pretty damn exciting when it does. So that's it for 1-stars. Be on the lookout for a 2-star one coming next. The 2-star will filter in somewhere with the Lobos dynasty and the Wolfpack dynasty. So keep your eyes on the lookout. But until the next one, keep gaming, keep growing, and keep celebrating those obscure victories. Game on.